Hello, Tracy here. Thanks so much for tuning in to my YouTube channel. It has been a minute since I have been here in real life in my studio chatting with you all, and I've missed you. We have been missing in action. Marco and I took off for 13 weeks to Europe. We had a month in Turkey, which was incredible, and I will share more with you on that down the track. I have about 5,000 photos of cats. We fell in love with all of the street kitties in Istanbul and throughout Turkey, and I have started to actually put some of those cats, little kitties, into some paintings. So I've decided to paint a garden for all the street cats that we met in Turkey. And look, they're actually quite well looked after, especially in the city areas and the tourist areas. We and many others carried kitty crunchies with us and water and things like that. And all through the streets in Istanbul, you'll see little kitty houses that people have made. And then our friend Celine, she actually goes and feeds all of the cats in a park near her house nearly every night. And there are just so many people, so many kind-hearted people that do that. So that was one part of it. And then just the landscape and the history and the culture, the food. Oh my goodness, if you've never had a Turkish breakfast, look it up. I decided to book hotels that had breakfast included. Obviously, it's one way of saving some money, right? I didn't realize that the Turkish breakfast is like a spread which is big enough for 6 people. And so every morning it actually got to the point where we were like, oh God, we just really would like a piece of toast this morning. But every morning it was just cheese and crackers and dried fruit and olives and eggs and potatoes and sometimes meat dishes. And so it kind of got to the point where we just said, okay, we're fueling up in the morning. And then I would make a couple of little sandwiches to put them in my purse and take with me, just so we didn't waste the food. I hate wasting food. Anyway, and then we finally got to a little town called Selçuk near Ephesus, the ancient city of Ephesus. And I said to the beautiful host there at the hotel, I was just telling her how amazing the Turkish breakfasts were, but I said, we're getting fat. We're just, we're eating too much. And I said, you guys don't eat like this all the time, do you? And she said, oh, no. This is just this would be a spread that we would have on a Sunday if we had the whole family over. And I'm like, here we were kind of eating, trying to get through all of this food every morning, but delicious, healthy, amazing, just a lot. So after Turkey, we went to Sicily, also our first time in Sicily, and we did some exploring for about 10 days, rented a car, fell in love with everywhere we went. And then I had a beautiful retreat with such a lovely group in a 17th century masseria. It was a retreat put on by my partners at Uptrek, who I've been working with for a couple of years. And they do such a beautiful job of creating an experience that is equal parts art, nurturing, mind, body, spirit, cultural explorations. The venues are always just stunningly beautiful. The food is always amazing. And the people at the venues, the hosts, so warm and welcoming. So I'll have stories to share on that as well. If you have ever thought about gifting yourself the experience of a week-long art retreat, I obviously, because I run them, I'm biased, but I see so many people whose lives are changed, not just at my retreats, but at other artist retreats as well. There's something that happens when you gift yourself a whole week of creative immersion, when you find your people at the retreats and you have these instant best friends. Everybody always says when they see video of our retreats, on the first day, they're like, do these people know each other? And I'm like, no, we all just met on that day. But it's we instantly realize that we're part of a soul family, and it always happens, always. So it's a magical experience. I'm teaching in Europe again next year with Uptrek, in Scotland and Greece and Portugal. Now, Scotland and Greece are sold out already. Portugal has some spots left, so Portugal stole our heart for other reasons, which I will go into as well. I don't know how much I'm gonna talk to you today, but there's a lot to share after several months away. So yeah, I'd love to see you in Portugal. I'll put the link down below so you can check out all of that information. And then after Sicily, we went to mainland Italy, and I went back to the beautiful Hotel Leone where I had taught previously, and had another gorgeous group there. And then we flew to Portugal. I had a retreat with Uptrek in Lagos. Again, just probably the most beautiful venue I've ever been to, and just so well organized. And again, like, every group always asks me, are we the best group? And I'm like, I'm never going to tell anybody they're the best group, but every group is the best group. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's just something so special about people who come together to explore creativity, people who are like curious and wide-eyed and even like fearful sometimes and vulnerable, and facing those vulnerabilities and sharing them. There's just something so human about it. And I just feel it opens all our hearts up. So anyway, I won't rave on about that anymore, but go to a retreat if you can, or even a workshop in your town. Like, if you can find a little 2-day workshop or something, go to where your people are and spread the creative love. So after that, we went to Porto, and we had a couple of weeks left at that point in time. And we had made plans to meet up with our friends Matt and Tori from California and walk the Camino Portuguese from Porto to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. And it's something that's been on our list for a lot of years, and it finally happened. And it just, you know what, I'm still processing it. It was 13 days of walking. We walked 350 kilometers according to my Garmin. So that was about 27 Ks a day. Not sure what that is in miles, but you can do the conversion. It's a lot. We pushed ourselves to the limit. It was challenging physically, mentally, and emotionally. But it's also one of the best things I've ever done. And I feel like I have a new respect for my body, and also for the idea, something I've been thinking about for quite a long time. I tend to be time bound, and then on the busy side, I have so many ideas, and my barometer for like how many ideas I can set in motion is sometimes a bit off. So because of that, I'm always thinking and I'm always trying new things, and I tend to get a bit overwhelmed, and then that can lead to procrastination, and that can lead to feeling bad about myself, and then sometimes go into like a shutdown kind of mode, and it's just like a cycle. So having this 13 days to be out in nature, to not know where the next thing was, you know what I mean? Like, we had a place to stay each night, but we were in a completely different landscape every day. We had never been to these places before. We never really knew, are we walking up here for a while? Are we going to twist and turn? Is there going to be a mountain up ahead? It's just like taking one step at a time, literally, and dealing with everything that comes with that, whether you have toenails falling off, or whether you're not feeling well, or you forgot, or you couldn't find a place to have breakfast and you're hungry and you've got another 7 miles to the next town. All of those things, like just dealing with it in the moment and really being centered in the now, was such a gift, and something that I've brought home with me. And it's kind of helped me to reevaluate kind of where I am in my creative life at this time, and especially in my business creative life. And again, more on that later. I've got so much to catch up with you. So yeah, I'm just feeling like it's time for me to slow down just a little bit from the frenetic pace that I've been setting myself, and to be okay, and to allow myself to take more time out I don't know if that makes sense to any of you. I know a lot of you out there are similar ages to me. I've just turned 60. So that's the other thing. When we arrived home after this amazing walk with our friends, we came home straight into my 60th birthday. So the family had arranged just a beautiful weekend. I had like a week or so to get over the jet lag. And then Cece surprised me by coming up from Melbourne. Santana had organised, and Marco and Cece had organised lots of fun family things over the weekend. And everybody was at the house. And it was incredible and beautiful. And I'm so grateful for my family and friends, and for being here at 60, for getting to see 60. So just like some reevaluation going on, some processing of the walking, and that whole experience. And then being back in my studio, I haven't actually been in here properly very much since we've been home, because, as I said, we had birthday celebrations. I've been doing stuff with family, and I deserve to have some time off, right? I was like, okay, you need some time to just like process everything. And then a few weeks ago, we went to the snow for a family week, 5 days at the snow. Had a great time. I was chief. I was in Ita role, looking after the grandbabies, and the family were all out skiing, which is fine by me because I am not a skier. So put me by the fire, reading books with the girls and sketching, and I am happy, happy, happy. Anyway, last night of the trip, Cece started to feel really bad, like not good at all. Christian had already had a bit of a wobble, and I had had a bit of a sore throat. So you see where this is going. And then the next day, driving home and then arriving home at our respective houses, we all went down one by one by one. Sissy was the first one to get tested, and it was influenza A. Marco tested the same. I don't think the others of us went to the doctors, but obviously we all had influenza A. It was horrendous, and literally had 14 days in bed and on the couch, and no energy even to sketch. Like I brought my pencils in, I brought my sketchbook in, and didn't even have the energy to do any of that. So still at the tail end of that flu, feeling better in every way except for this little niggly cough, little slight crackle that's still there. But yeah, feeling good enough to be out here. And I have been in my studio for a couple of days, and I've done a few things, and I have worked on some of my mantra paintings, some new mantra paintings. So all of these little mantra paintings, when I have painted them, I spend some time with them, and then I think about what it is that they might be, like a positive message that they might be trying to bring to the world. And then I title them accordingly. So I've done quite a few of those because I feel like the world needs a little bit of positive inspiration at the moment. And then I have also been working on taking some of the images of thousands of images of the street cats from Turkey and other places, other countries as well, some from Sicily, and giving those cats a garden to live in. So I'm having fun with those ones. And what else? So just getting back into the zone. I've got a workshop coming up in a couple of weeks here in Huskisson, and excited for that. And actually several return students coming. 2 of them who have been with me in international retreats. One's coming from America to our little town in Australia. And my bestie, Ange, who comes up every year, she's coming up from Melbourne. And then my friend Lynn, who came to Mexico with me, and who's coming to Greece with me, is also coming up to Husky. So, oftentimes students will come back, and we'll have these little reunions, which is always really fun. So anyway, I think that's enough of a check-in for now. I feel like I'm rambling a bit, but I did want to just share what we've been up to, and I hope that you've all been well. I know it doesn't probably seem like I've been away for a long time because Cece, my daughter Cece, works for me almost full-time, and she was very good at scheduling videos that we had pre-made to go up on YouTube while I was away. So I don't think there's probably been a few weeks where we haven't had anything up there. So today my priority is to do some sketches, to just put some music on and to do a bit of work in my sketchbook that Cece can edit and we can share with you. So that's what I will be doing, and I'm back. And I'd love to hear from you down below in the comments. Please write me a comment, especially if you've been following along with our adventures and there was anything that was inspiring to you, or any questions that you wanted to ask me about anything, about any of the places we went, or about walking the Camino Portuguese. Yeah, please ask the questions below. And as I said, I'll link to next year's Portugal retreat. What else? That's all I can think of right now. Maybe I'll pop back in later if I think of anything else, but for now, I'm gonna have a little bit of sketching time.